Hello and welcome to Chesapeake Weekly, no longer home edition. We're back. We're back in the studio. So excited to get things back to normal. And this week we're starting off with a really, really great piece. So there's a very special memorial located off the beaten path on Bells Mill Road. It's the Unknown and Known Afro-Union Civil War Soldiers Memorial. Well, this year on Memorial Day, there was an extra special ceremony when a new memorial marker was gifted to the memorial thanks to the dedication of some hardworking and very smart Chesapeake kids.
Our ceremony, celebration, represents the event that took place on May 22nd, 1863, when President Abraham Lincoln authorized the formation of the Bureau of Colored Troops. As a result of that, over 166 Afro-Union regiments were mustered in and 182 were organized. Over 209,000 Afro-Union soldiers had volunteered to serve in the Army of the United States to save the United States of America and to defeat slavery. Also, there were more Afro-Union soldiers and sailors from Norfolk County, where we are, than there were soldiers in the entire Confederate Army from Norfolk County. This is the celebration. Traditionally, it's known as Memorial Day. And who do you see on May 30th, 1865, dressed like this? These were Afro-Union veteran soldiers. Our event, Founders Day, takes place on the same day as Memorial Day. This property was purchased in 1872 by veteran Sergeant March Corporal, 2nd United States Colored Cavalry Regiment. My great-grandfather, this is one of the meeting places, the Emancipation or Liberation Oak, right here. But the memorial itself is not restricted to local veterans.
Today is the culmination of the work our students have been doing for the past several months to help to revitalize the Unknown and Known Afro-Union Civil War Memorial. The main part of our project was fundraising and producing the new memorial marker for this site.
All right.
It represents a thread in a timeline because history is not just today, but it's yesterday through today and into tomorrow. And so our students are carrying the legacy by honoring their history and providing an opportunity for the future.
Dedicated to honor Afro-Union Patriot heroes. It is located in the northwest section.
Yes, I learned about the Afro-Union soldiers. It felt really good because I feel like we made a really big difference that we were able to do this today.
It just felt momentous, and I think it's important because some of the stuff in history is blotted out because people don't want to remember it. And well, it's very important to remember because then you can fix mistakes and learn from those mistakes.
Felt really good to just get up there and be able to talk about that. I learned that that people have done a lot for America and the Civil Wars and our freedom, and without them, without all those people, that we wouldn't be able to be here and live freely to get there.
It felt like not only are you being a part of history, but you are also saving the memory of those who already made it. And you just help everybody know how this country came to be. Like no slavery, like how everybody can be equal. That didn't just happen on its own. People made this stuff and made history for us to not only study, but learn from.
It's overwhelming because it's historic. They are part of that now. Studying history and making history.
You can visit the memorial at 1001 Bells Mill Road. And by the way, it is part of the city's African American History Trail. So there's also a podcast that you can listen to learn all about it. Find that at visitchesapeake.com. In addition to memorial markers, Chesapeake also honors its past with historical highway markers. So a recent dedication ceremony for a new marker pays homage to the Owens Melvin House on Shell Road. Take a look.
The house was home of Hugo Owens, who we have a school named after, and also was a city council person for 10 years and one of our first African-American city council members. And so we've now got a historical marker through the State Department of Historical Resources that we have here on Shell Road at 732 Shell Road to identify the house that he was born in. And it has stayed in the family for years, still with the family, and we just had a great relationship with the family on getting this marker done through the state and starting to tell more of the story of the history of Chesapeake.
It really means a lot to me because this was the only thing that Dad really couldn't let go of. He did not want to sell his family home because it meant so much to him, and it had so many memories of all of the people who lived in this part of Deep Creek. So to be able to get this recognition for this house and for the neighborhood is really important to me. So yes.
So thank you for coming to celebrate.
Well, I'm just proud of my sister for being able to pull this off. She is the family genealogist and historian, and and she took over the mantle after my dad. So I'm really proud of her today. Very charismatic, very entertaining, a great storyteller, very much into social justice, and had a very unique way of being able to say what needed to be said in a way that people could hear it.
Well, I see the culmination of so many family stories and such a legacy that he inherited, because living in this house with his grandparents, my great-grandparents, both of whom had been enslaved, shaped and molded him and told him stories that he took with him and passed on to us. My great-grandmother had 3 brothers that served in the United States Colored Troops, 2 in the United States Colored Cavalry. She would tell stories about that, what it was like living during enslavement, because parts of her family had been sold away. To know that that's now etched in stone, as it were, on this, having this marker to note that these people lived, they existed, they contributed to this area, to this history, to this country. And it's just very gratifying that my father was able to stand on their shoulders and do what he did based on the way they nurtured and taught him how to just try to navigate life under such oppressive conditions.
Well, it comes out of the tap whenever it's needed, and most people don't give it a second thought. But a lot of hard work and testing goes into every gallon of city water, which is just the subject of the annual water quality report. The 2020 Water Quality Report is available now at cityofchesapeake.net/water-report. If you'd like a printed copy, those are available at all libraries and community centers. Now, speaking of city water, we often get questions about increases in water bills. Why is my water bill more than it was last time? Well, Public Utilities Director David Juergens can explain, which he did in the latest virtual town meeting. Take a look.
We typically see in Chesapeake, in areas that do not have any irrigation from their water from the city water system, a 20% increase in consumption during the summertime. So that's why water bills tend to be higher in August, September, October, the bill time period that covers the higher demand summer usage, which really runs from June through September, because that's when we have our hottest period. 20% increase in demand, therefore there's a corresponding 20% increase in the water bills. Additionally, when there are rate increases, HRSD has their rate increases take effect on July 1st. They didn't have one last year, but this year they probably will have one, and that's going to be either anywhere from 8, 9, or 10% on the HRSD portion of the bill, which is generally about a third of the bill. So it'll be 10% of 1/3 of the bill. That would be the HRSD rate increase. We will not have a rate increase on July 1st. We have a small rate increase scheduled, a 2% rate increase, 2% rate increase scheduled for January 1st. We do ours in January, so you don't have that cumulative effect of an increase in the rates as well as the highest consumption people see, because that kind of creates a double whammy and surprises people, and it's an angst we can avoid for our customers.
Now, there's much more to that response, including information on water leaks. You can find all of that in the virtual town meeting responses at cityofchesapeake.net/virtualtownmeeting. Well, over the past few months, the Chesapeake Fire Department has responded to the TFC recycling facility more than once because of fires. Now, believe it or not, those fires are starting from something in particular that shouldn't be in your blue bin to begin with. Here's TFC's Kathy Russell with more.
So we had a battery come through the line, and it went outside the building and ignited. And so what they found out that it was a lithium-ion battery. And so it caused a fire above our compactor, and we've had complete downtime because of it. So it's been a really hard thing. We've been processing about 40 tons an hour, so we had to go to a complete halt. And so I think it's back up and running now. The batteries that come out of a computer, that come out of a cell phone, that even household batteries can cause us a fire. You wouldn't think that it's dead, it can't do that, but it's not. We're compacting and the thing's going through the system, it can spark, and then the fire happens. We had one back in April that was caused from a battery and actually was in the bunker inside the building. We've been very blessed though. We've been back up and running within a couple of days. We have lost 2 complete trucks because of batteries. That happened in Norfolk. I think one happened in December, one happened in January of last year, a $400,000 truck completely gone from batteries. If you could stop putting plastic bags in there, don't put it in a plastic bag liner thinking that it's going to help keep everything clean and help us. It's not. Those plastic bags tangle up on our machinery. It causes us a lot of downtime. We have to completely stop the machinery and have our employees come and dig that stuff out. Anything that tangles is bad. It could be an extension cord. We get those all the time. It could be a tarp. It could be anything that tangles. Again, rope. That's one of the biggest things that we get. And we get construction debris. This time of year, we get a lot of people that have flower pots. We don't take flower pots. We only take plastics, number 1 and number 2 plastic bottles. So if you won't put those in there. When we're trying to make it back to basics, paper, bottles, and cans. That is the basics of what we take. We do take a few things, other things, but make it very easy, paper, bottles, and cans.
So recycling the right way has literally never been more important than it is right now. Only recycle items that you know to be recyclable, which is basically paper, bottles, and cans. It's better to recycle fewer items, but to get it right, than to wishfully toss extra items into your blue bin that might not actually be recyclable. So remember, recycle right. If in doubt, throw it out. Everyone, have a wonderful week. We're so excited to be bringing you Chesapeake Weekly from back in the studio now, and we will see you right back here again next week.
The leading cause of kitchen fires is unattended cooking.
Always stand by your pan.
Keep anything flammable like oven mitts or wooden utensils away from the stovetop at all times.
Wear short or tight-fitted sleeves to avoid loose clothing catching fire.
If a fire does start and you can't get it under control, get out and call 911.
Stand by your pan!
Don't just learn history, live history. At the Great Bridge Battlefield and Waterways Museum, you'll experience life in 18th century Virginia. Discover the water that defined the landscape. Visit a colonial tavern and find yourself in the middle of the Battle of Great Bridge. Your next adventure begins at the Great Bridge Battlefield and Waterways Museum. All COVID-19 safety precautions apply. Go to gbbattlefield.org for more information.